You wake up and sit on the edge of the bed waiting for your body to catch up. But for older Americans that morning, stiffness may not be from age alone. A recent report from the CDC shows that over 70% of joint flare-ups in adults over 60 begin within the first hour of the day, often triggered by habits we never question. In this video, you'll discover 6 common morning habits that may be quietly damaging your joints and what to do instead to move freely every morning. Each solution is backed by medical insights from leading U.S. health institutions and carefully designed for real life after 60. You've probably been told that joint pain is just part of aging. That stiffness in the knees, the hips, or the hands is something you're supposed to accept. But the truth is, your joints aren't breaking down on their own. They're reacting to tiny repeated decisions made in the earliest moments of your day. Because after 60, your joints become more sensitive to stress, inflammation, and subtle chemical shifts. Your cartilage is thinner. Your joint fluid gets thicker. Your morning hormones change. And the choices you make in that first hour, what you drink, what you skip, how you move, can either help your joints recover or push them further into stiffness and silent wear. According to the National Institute on Aging, older adults who skip hydration, delay breakfast, or expose their joints to sudden shocks like cold showers or intense stretching are significantly more likely to experience early morning flare-ups, joint fatigue, and reduced mobility later in the day. And yet, most people never hear this. They just think I'm getting older and carry on. While their knees quietly swell, their hands lose strength, and their mornings become slower, harder. But it's not too late. Because your joints aren't failing you. They're asking for something different. Let's take a closer look at 6 habits that may be making your mornings harder than they need to be, and more importantly, what you can start doing today to give your joints the quiet support they deserve. Before we get started, if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a perfect time. Just tap that button and turn on the bell so you won't miss any future health tips designed especially for you. And if this video helps you in any way, type 1 in the comments or 0 if you think there's something I could do better. I'd love to hear your thoughts. 6. Everyday morning habits that may be quietly wearing down your joints after 60 and how to gently reverse the damage with simple, body-friendly changes. Habit number 1. Sitting too long after waking up. You wake up in the morning. Your body feels sluggish. Your mind is still a little foggy. So instead of standing up right away, you stay seated on the bed, elbows on your knees, back slightly hunched, and you sit like that for a few minutes, sometimes 5, sometimes 10, even 20, just to gather your energy or wait for that lightheaded feeling to pass. There's nothing wrong with wanting to pause a bit. But here's what most people don't realize. That quiet moment of rest may actually be making your joints stiffer, more inflamed, and more painful, little by little, every single morning. During sleep, your body stays still for 6 to 8 hours. Blood flow slows down. The joint fluid, your body's natural lubricant in the knees, hips, and ankles, gets thicker and doesn't circulate well. So in the morning, your joints are like an engine that's been frozen overnight. It needs warming up, not stillness. And if you sit in one spot for another 10 or 15 minutes without any gentle movement, your joints stiffen even more. By the time you stand up, your legs feel heavy, your knees might lock up, and sometimes there's even a sharp pain in your hip. That's because your cartilage and soft tissue haven't had a chance to wake up before carrying the full weight of your body. This may seem small, but it's a kind of micro-injury repeated every morning. And over time, these small traumas speed up joint wear faster than you might think. A study from the National Institute on Aging found that in adults over 60, even short periods of morning immobility can increase the thickness of joint fluid by up to 25% within just 30 minutes. That means the longer you stay still, the thicker that fluid becomes, and the harder it is for your joints to move smoothly. A report from Harvard Health also warns that morning joint stiffness isn't just a symptom of arthritis. It's often made worse by skipping gentle movement after waking up. In other words, sitting too long after you wake up doesn't give you strength. It slowly weakens you one morning at a time. So what should you do instead? You don't need to jump out of bed right away, but as soon as you wake, try gently moving your ankles. Bend and stretch your knees. Rotate your hips while you're still seated. Start small, just 30 seconds of movement. Then build up to 1 or 2 minutes. Take a deep breath. Shrug your shoulders. Wiggle your fingers and toes just like athletes warm up before a game. If you can keep a small bottle of warm water by your bed, take a few sips before standing up. It helps your circulation and keeps your joint fluid from getting too thick. And when you do stand, take a pause. Stand tall and still for 5 to 10 seconds before taking your first step. This isn't just a habit. It's a gentle ritual that protects your knees, ankles, and hips every single day. Because at this age, it's not about doing more. It's about doing things right, consistently, and in balance. Start tomorrow, and your legs will thank you all day long. But this is just one small habit. Some of the things we do in the morning believing they're healthy may actually slow our recovery without us even knowing. Habit number 2, coffee before breakfast. Hurts your joints. Your morning begins with the comforting smell of coffee. You stand in the kitchen holding a warm cup in your hands. It feels like a sacred little ritual, one that helps your body wake up and clears the morning fog in your mind. For many Americans over 60, that first sip of coffee, taken even before eating anything, has been part of their daily rhythm for years. It feels like a habit that keeps you sharp and full of life. But what if that same habit is quietly making your joints dry, stiff, and inflamed day after day? When you drink coffee on an empty stomach, especially strong black coffee, your body responds by producing more stomach acid. And when there's no food to cushion that acid, it doesn't just irritate your stomach lining. It can also spark a chain reaction of inflammation that travels through your whole body, including the sensitive cartilage in your knees, hips, and ankles. These areas are already more vulnerable with age, and this early morning spike in inflammation can make them feel even more painful as the day goes on. Coffee also has a powerful diuretic effect. That means it encourages your body to get rid of water faster. So when you drink it first thing in the morning before rehydrating, it may lead to internal dehydration, including a reduction in joint fluid. And as you know, joint fluid is like oil in an engine. It keeps your joints smooth and cushions the cartilage. Without enough of it, your knees may feel dry, your ankles may ache, and your cartilage can become more prone to friction and damage. On top of that, drinking coffee on an empty stomach causes a sudden spike in cortisol, the stress hormone. And elevated cortisol makes inflammation even worse. So the joints that may have been quietly stiff a few minutes ago can start to throb or swell just hours after that first cup. A 2021 study from the Harvard Th. Chan School of Public Health found that people who drank strong coffee on an empty stomach had 23% higher levels of CRP, a marker of inflammation in the blood, compared to those who ate breakfast first. And higher CRP is directly linked to joint inflammation, especially in the knees and hips. Another report from the National Institutes of Health warned that seniors who consume caffeine early in the morning without food face an 18% higher risk of cellular dehydration. This can reduce the elasticity of cartilage and speed up joint degeneration. What's most surprising is that these effects don't show up overnight. They build silently over weeks and months. One day you realize you can't move as quickly as before, or maybe your knees make a cracking sound every time you stand up. You might think it's just aging, but in truth it may be the long-term result of coffee taken at the wrong time. The good news is you don't need to give up coffee. You just need to shift when you drink it. Instead of sipping coffee immediately after waking, start your day with a warm glass of water. Then eat something light like a slice of whole grain toast, a boiled egg, some banana, or a bit of oatmeal. After 30 to 45 minutes, you can enjoy your coffee without sending your body into shock. It also helps to make your coffee less intense. Skip the overly dark roasts and reduce the temperature a bit. Strong, burning hot coffee can irritate your stomach even faster and worsen fluid loss. You might even consider switching to decaf or a gentle green tea, both of which give you clarity without putting extra strain on your joints. And don't forget, after every cup of coffee, follow it with a glass of water. A simple glass of water can help balance hydration in your body and protect your cartilage from drying out. Sometimes it's not the habit itself that's harmful. It's the timing, and changing that one small detail might just make all the difference. Habit number 3, skipping breakfast increases inflammation. You wake up a little later than usual. Maybe there's a doctor's appointment coming up, an early phone call, or simply a morning where you don't feel very hungry, so you skip breakfast. Or maybe you just grab something quick, a pastry, a glass of orange juice, a couple of cookies. It's fast, convenient, and feels harmless. In fact, many older adults believe that eating less in the morning is better for their health, especially if they don't have much to do that day. But here's the hidden truth: skipping breakfast, or relying on sweet processed foods, first thing in the morning can quietly damage your joints, day by day, month by month, without you even realizing it. When you skip breakfast, your body slips into a mild state of low blood sugar. In response, your adrenal glands release more cortisol, the stress hormone. Cortisol is meant to help the body in emergencies, but it also increases inflammation, especially in soft tissue and cartilage around the joints. And if you do eat something in the morning, but it's mostly sugar, like packaged cereal juice or pastries, you're flooding your system with simple carbohydrates. That causes your blood sugar to spike, then crash. Your body responds by releasing insulin, which tries to bring things back into balance. But this process also increases inflammatory molecules called cytokines, which put even more pressure on your already sensitive joints. In simpler terms, starting the day without nourishing fuel or with just sugar forces your body into emergency mode. And if your only energy source is sugar, your body ends up breaking down your own cartilage for fuel. Over time, this inflames and weakens your joints even more. A 2020 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that older adults who regularly skipped breakfast had 21% higher levels of CRP, a key inflammation marker, compared to those who ate breakfast daily. And a report from Harvard Health Publishing confirmed that sweet breakfasts raise the production of age's advanced glycation end products. These harmful compounds form when sugar interacts with proteins in the body, and they play a big role in cartilage breakdown, especially in major joints like the knees and hips. For people over 60, this becomes even more serious. As metabolism slows with age-consuming sugary foods, in the morning fuels chronic inflammation. And chronic inflammation is a major reason for hip pain, knee stiffness, and the gradual loss of strength in your legs. But the solution doesn't need to be complicated. You don't need a fancy breakfast. You just need a balanced, gentle meal that supports your joints and calms inflammation. One simple rule to follow: aim for 3 elements in your breakfast: protein, fiber, and healthy fat. For example, try a slice of whole grain toast with unsweetened peanut butter and a few slices of banana, or a small bowl of oatmeal topped with chia seeds and berries. Even a boiled egg with a few slices of avocado and a warm glass of water is enough to keep your blood sugar steady and your joints supported. If you really don't feel hungry in the morning, start small. Just a spoonful of plain Greek yogurt with some ground flaxseed can gently wake up your body without triggering inflammation. And remember, breakfast isn't just about feeling full or hungry. It's a signal you send to your body after a long night of rest. If you skip that signal, your body reacts with stress. And at our age, stress leads to inflammation. Inflammation means pain. Pain makes you avoid movement. And over time, avoiding movement leads to weaker legs, stiffer joints, and a slower, more limited life. But the things that weaken our joints don't just come from inside the body. Sometimes they come from the environment around us, even in our own home, shaped by routines we've followed for years without ever questioning them. Habit number 4. Exercising without warm-up damages cartilage. You've probably heard it many times before. You need to move your body to stay healthy. Exercise keeps your joints flexible. So one morning you wake up and decide to follow that advice. Before you even finish stretching, you try a few crunches, some hip rotations, maybe even a few push-ups or a quick trip up and down the stairs. You tell yourself it's time to wake up the body and start the day strong. At first it might feel energizing, but a few hours later your knees feel tight. Your ankles feel a bit swollen. Or maybe there's a sudden sharp pain in your hip when you get up from a chair. And you're left wondering, I exercised this morning, why do I feel worse? The answer is simple, but most people never think about it. You exercised too soon, too intensely before your body was ready. After a full night's sleep, your body is like a machine that's been powered down for hours. Your muscles are stiff. Your joint fluid isn't flowing well yet. Your tendons and ligaments are still cold and tight. And when you jump straight into high-intensity movement like brisk walking, deep squats, planks, or even aggressive stretches, you're putting sudden pressure on joints and cartilage that haven't had time to warm up. That can lead to micro-damage in places already vulnerable with age. In younger people, the body bounces back quickly. But over 60, where cartilage is thinner and more fragile, the damage sticks around and builds up over time. The American College of Sports Medicine recommends that older adults spend at least 5 to 10 minutes warming up their joints and muscles before doing any form of intense physical activity. Skipping this step triples the risk of joint injuries and muscle strain. Research from the National Institutes of Health also shows that exercising in the morning without a proper warm-up increases levels of IL-6, a key inflammatory marker, by up to 40% in seniors. And when IL-6 is high, you're more likely to experience swelling, soreness, and long-term cartilage wear. Doctors at Mayo Clinic add another warning: the knees and hips are especially at risk if you exercise too hard right after waking up, because these joints take longer to loosen up after sleep. The truth is, it's not about how much you exercise or how intense your workout is. What matters most is doing it at the right time and in the right way. So instead of forcing yourself to move the moment you wake up, take 5 to 7 minutes to gently activate your body. Sit on the edge of your bed and rotate your wrists and ankles 15 to 20 times each. Stand up slowly, take a deep breath, bend your knees just a little. Walk around your room for 1 or 2 minutes at a relaxed pace. Give your joints and muscles a chance to wake up. If you want to follow a regular workout routine, wait at least 30 to 45 minutes after waking. Let your body fully awaken. Have a light snack or some water. Then your joints will be more fluid, your muscles more responsive. Instead of pushing through hard workouts, consider switching to gentle stretches, light yoga, slow walking, tai chi, or joint mobility exercises designed specifically for older adults. These slow and steady movements reduce inflammation, improve lubrication, and build leg strength without strain, because exercise itself isn't the problem, but the wrong timing, the wrong way, can turn movement into pain that lingers all day. Let your morning begin softly, not with a shock to your knees, but with care and kindness toward your body. Habit number 5, cold showers trigger joint stiffness. It's early morning and you step into the bathroom still half asleep. You turn on the faucet and let cold water rush over your body, hoping to wake yourself up fast. The icy chill runs down your spine. You shiver, maybe even gasp a little, but you tell yourself, that's how you build resilience. That's what keeps the blood flowing. Some people even believe that cold showers in the morning boost immunity and build discipline. But if you're over 60, and especially if you're dealing with joint pain, this habit might be doing the opposite of what you hope. Instead of waking up your body, it could be freezing your joints literally and silently. After a long night of sleep, your body temperature drops. Your blood vessels are relaxed, your joints are at rest. When you suddenly pour cold water over your body, your blood vessels constrict quickly to preserve heat. That sharp constriction limits blood flow to your joints and surrounding tissues, which are already a little stiff and low on circulation. As the blood flow drops, your joint fluid becomes thicker, your cartilage gets less oxygen and fewer nutrients. And that leads to the familiar stiffness, numbness, or dull pain you might feel in your legs or feet after your shower. What's more, in older adults, this kind of cold shock can trigger muscle tightening and ligament tension around the joints. That tightness can make walking painful, especially if you already live with arthritis or joint degeneration. The risk is even greater if you shower in a cool room, stand on a cold bathroom floor, or step out into chilly air without covering up properly. Those sudden temperature changes confuse the body's natural ability to regulate flexibility. Over time, they lay the groundwork for chronic joint inflammation and cartilage wear. According to the National Institute on Aging, older adults don't regulate body temperature as easily as younger people, and sudden exposure to cold water in the morning can negatively affect joint health, muscle response, and even blood pressure. One 2020 study published in Rheumatology International found that cold exposure in people over 60 raised levels of TNF-alpha and IL-1 beta, two powerful inflammatory markers in joint fluid, by more than 30%. The result: more pain, more stiffness, and worse inflammation for at least 1 to 2 hours after showering. Harvard Medical School also advises seniors to avoid cold showers in the morning, especially before eating or moving around, due to the risk of chills, muscle cramps, and blood pressure instability, all of which can quietly make joint pain worse over time. But here's the good news. You don't need to give up your refreshing morning routine. You just need to adjust it. First, don't rush into the shower right after waking up. Let your body warm up for 5 to 10 minutes. Walk around your room, rotate your joints, drink some warm water. This helps your circulation kick in and makes joint fluid more elastic. Second, choose warm, not hot water, ideally around 96 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. That gentle warmth helps dilate blood vessels, increases blood flow to your joints, and reduces inflammation naturally. Third, if you still enjoy ending with a splash of cool water, Focus it on your lower legs and feet only and only after the rest of your body is warm and awake. Finally, after showering, take a moment to cover up your knees and ankles with soft socks or a towel. Those joints are especially sensitive to cold, and warmth is their best protection, especially in the morning. Your joints don't need to be shocked awake with cold water. They need warmth flow and a gentle start to the day. What may seem like a fast, efficient morning habit could be slowly wearing down your joints and delaying your recovery without a sound. Habit number 6. Not drinking water after waking. You wake up, brush your teeth, wash your face, and step into a brand new day. Maybe you sip a little coffee. Maybe you're already thinking about breakfast. But there's one thing many people over 60 often forget to do: drink enough water first thing in the morning. Especially on cooler mornings, you might not even feel thirsty, so you skip it without realizing that your joints are starting the day in a state of quiet dehydration. At first, there's no sign, no warning. But after a few steps, you might notice your knees feel stiff, your ankles feel heavy, or there's a dull ache traveling down your calves. And you pause for a second, wondering, why does it hurt more today? It's not always age. Sometimes it's simply lack of water. You see, your joints aren't just bone and cartilage. Inside each joint is a precious layer of lubricating fluid called synovial fluid, rich in hyaluronic acid. This fluid cushions the bones, reduces friction, and helps your joints move smoothly. But after a full night of breathing and sweating, your body loses water. And if you don't rehydrate in the morning, that joint fluid becomes thicker and more sluggish. The result: more grinding between bones, less nourishment to the cartilage, and slower healing in the soft tissue around the joint. And here's the surprising part. Many older adults don't feel thirsty even when their bodies are already low on water. That natural thirst signal fades with age. So your joints, not your mouth, may be the first part of your body to cry out for hydration. The CDC reports that 85% of adults over 60 don't drink enough water in the morning, leading to what experts call dehydration arthritis. It's a real condition where low-grade chronic dehydration silently increases joint pain and inflammation over time. Harvard Medical School also notes that losing just 1.5% of your body's water can make your synovial fluid 20% more viscous. In plain terms, thicker fluid, stiffer movement, and more pain when you try to bend or walk. And according to the National Institutes of Health, skipping water in the morning can even interfere with your kidney's ability to flush out uric acid, a compound that builds up and triggers gout, especially in the feet and ankles. So if you've been waking up with stiff joints or unexplained soreness, the first step isn't medicine. It might just be a glass of water. Thankfully, the fix is simple, and it can make a difference in just a few days. As soon as you wake up, drink a warm glass of water, about 8 ounces. Not cold, not icy. Warm water helps jumpstart digestion, supports blood flow to your joints, and helps loosen the joint fluid that's stiffened overnight. If plain water feels hard to drink in the morning, add a few drops of lemon or a slice of cucumber. It makes the taste more pleasant and gives your body a gentle anti-inflammatory boost. Just be mindful not to replace water with coffee or juice. Coffee can dehydrate you. Juice can spike your blood sugar. What your joints need most is simple, clean water. You can even keep a small water bottle beside your bed, so it's the first thing you see when you wake up. And if you tend to forget, link it to a morning habit like drinking water right before brushing your teeth or right after making your bed. That way it becomes automatic. Your joints don't need expensive pills to stay healthy. They just need to be nourished day by day, sip by sip. And in the quiet hours of morning, water may be the gentlest, most powerful gift you can offer your body, especially your legs, which carry you through each day with silent strength. Maybe it's not your age that's slowing you down. Maybe it's the small habits done quietly morning after morning that are wearing down your joints and making each step a little harder than the last. But here's the beautiful truth. You don't have to change everything. You just need to start with 1 or 2 small shifts. Drink that warm glass of water. Move your ankles before standing up. Eat something simple and nourishing before your first sip of coffee. And when you do, something happens. The pain softens. Your knees feel a little less stiff. You move through your morning with more ease, more steadiness, like your body is finally saying, "Thank you. It's never too late." So start tomorrow morning. And if this message made you feel seen or gave you something to think about, share it with someone you care about. because just one small change might help someone you love walk with strength again.